to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. As you can see, we had to do a Zoom today. Traveling, doing what I got to do. And here we are. We got to make it do what it do. Sean Zittel, shout out your channel. Tell everybody where to find you, look you up, check you out, follow you, all the good stuff.
The Shawn Zittel channel, yes. And it's been a little slow with the updates this past week because lots of, the NFL season is well underway. If you care at all about football, go to the Vegas Sports Today channel. That's my other channel I work with my man Mike. So, I will be getting some good content today, Sean, because Tim Tszyu getting ready for his IBF super welterweight title fight against Bakhram Murtazaliev. He's training in Vegas today, so and then Undisputed drops at midnight. So lots of content coming. Doing a round by round on Beterbiev Bivol on Saturday. So check it out. For sure.
It sounds like you need to bring all that to the PorterWay Podcast.
Yeah, no doubt. Whatever you need, let me know.
No, I got you. Always happy to support you, big dog. And anybody out there that don't understand that the NFL has you working for them now, specifically the Raiders. You're working for the Raiders. That's a big thing, especially when you come from a small niche sport like boxing. So salute yourself, big dog, because people have recognized what you're capable of. You've taken some chances yourself and reached out to people and made a way for yourself. You know what I mean? So there's a motivational message right there. And don't stop, don't quit, and keep aspiring to be bigger and better because you'll get there.
Yeah, man. Like Puffy said, can't stop, won't stop, So go on.
We got a lot going on. As you said, Undisputed game will be dropping at midnight, did you say?
Yes.
Are people actually buying that game at midnight?
Oh, yeah. People have already bought the game. And then the game is already, like, on my PlayStation 5, it's already downloaded. I just can't play it until launch time. So
listen, we got some big things going on with this game. Listen, while I am an ambassador for this game, I'm not a gamer. I don't come from the gaming life. KP wasn't having it. We would show up with the game and he said, put the game away. You know what I mean? So I just never really got into games. And the other side of that, my thumbs and my mind and my eyes, they're not connected when it comes to video games. So my senses don't work right, when I'm playing games. But all that being said, we got some really big things coming up with the game. We're going to bring on a producer for the PorterWay Podcast who does all of our stuff remotely when we go out and about doing the lives and things like that. He's going to come on and explain to you guys what the deal is. I'm a part of the deal, but I'm on the back end of the deal. You know what I mean? So I get the before and the after money. He's doing everything in between so that we can actually get the before money and the after money. So all that being said, I'm actually super, super excited to bring on to the PorterWay Podcast Didier all the way over in Akron. I've been teasing him about coming onto the podcast for a long time. And when we started talking about this what he's going to announce, I said, hey man, I think you should be coming onto the podcast to talk about this yourself. So he said, yeah, I've been getting prepared. I kind of felt like that was going to happen. So without further ado, the guy who does everything for the PorterWay Podcast that's live, that you guys see when we're out and about, Dallas to LA to Philly, we're headed to this weekend. Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. In front of the camera, DDA.
The first question for DDA. I'm already ready. DDA.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
We got you.
Okay, great.
DDA, of course, we all literally DDA is how we refer to you. Is it, you've probably told me this already, but now I have you on the PorterWay to ask you, is it actually like a fancy French name like DDL? And you just make it DDA to make it easy for us?
Well, it's a good question. Throughout my life, that name's been called so many different variations, but DDA it's a common French name. It's actually pronounced Didier, and all the French guys out there will know exactly what I mean. Also, the Haitians out there too, and it's a common name, very unique in the U.S. A lot of people call me by Didier, Deidre. I'm used to it, but it's very simple. 2 D's and an A. That's kind of like what I tell everybody. And Yeah, it's
DTA.
you get used to it, but yeah, Didier, that's how you pronounce it.
So when's the last time where you called DTA?
I had to ask my mom probably last night.
I was gonna ask, is that your mom and your dad? I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. All my family, they call me by Didier, not DDA, but you know.
Got you. Well, listen, man, let's get to it so that we can get you off of here. I know your heart's probably at about 80, 90 beats per second per minute. But what we got going on, man? Tell everybody. I'm confused. I'm excited.
The WBGC, Shawn.
Tell them.
WBGC. So WBGC stands for World Boxing Game Community. It's kind of a spinoff from the FGC, the fighting game community, where we gather all boxing game players on consoles, PCs together to play and communicate with each other, have fun, compete. And the WBGC, it's an organization. It's a group that we are putting together to cater to passionate boxing fans and gamers. We want to make sure that all the players are treated equal, and we want to level the playing field and apply fair and strict rules and guidelines. I believe through trust within the players and integrity, we can help bring the boxing community together and bring the boxing industry together and bring new fans to the scene and keep it going. And
and Shawn, like what DDA did by coming up with the WBGC, not to be confused with the DPGC, Dog Pound Gangster, but no, is the FGC is Shawn is the fighting game community, and this was built up organically. The fight, so back in the early 2000s, even as back far as the 90s, before we had social media like that, the best fighting game players, whether it was Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Super Smash Brothers, whatever it was, they would meet from New York to LA, around the country, and compete with each other, organize tournaments. And then it got to the point where it became international. The American players would compete against the Japanese players and the Korean players, the British players. So, slowly it built into a thing where it's like big fights in Vegas, because the biggest tournament every summer is called Evo here in Las Vegas. And that's where everybody meets. That's like the Super Bowl is Evo in Las Vegas. They do it at Mandalay Bay Convention Center. So I love what DDA, he's trying to build it from the beginning and make the fighting game community version of it in boxing. Wow. So that's really what the WBGC is. And I think it's a really dope idea by DDA. I'm excited to kick it off with you guys in November.
Didier, is this the official launch right now of the
WBGC Boxing Game Community?
HIJK. It's so many goddamn letters.
We actually launched a couple weeks ago. We started the Discord. It's actually going really nicely. We are actually also collaborating with other leagues that are formed. We want to open the doors for everyone, and we've been collaborating with other leagues like UBL and Chu Sims League, or Undisputed League, and UFL. I'm sorry, the UFL and Chu Sims Undisputed League. And what we're doing is we want to give them the exposure for their platform to open up to our base, where we have true boxing fans, and get them interested in the boxing games that are out there, and hopefully they will join and want to compete, because not every weekend we have a big major fight, but with this game that's coming out, we can kind of virtually build a nice platform where players can play against each other and get incentivized, and players can matchmake with other players, and everyone will communicate with each other. Everybody's independent. There's no contracts or any signed deals. We want to make this a level playing field for all players to have fun and play with each other.
Yeah. Listen, shout out to Philly. Shout out to Let's Get It Cut Barbershop. I went out to Philly. This was a minute ago, and I needed to get lined up and everything. And shout out to Briz. Briz, the main barber in there, the owner. He's been great. And he said, man, when you come back, man, bring your podcast. And I mean, there's a whole lot of things that just kind of came into play. When I went to Philly, I was like, oh snap, Lincoln Field. I was like, yo, I need to get in there. Looked it up. The Browns are playing the Eagles this weekend at the Link. So I was like, man, I'm coming. And then, when he mentioned me bringing the podcast, I said, that makes sense. We got some other things we're working on, trying to get done this weekend. But the main thing is that we need people to understand that we're going to Philly this weekend for a barbershop episode. We're going to start that barbershop episode 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the genius below us decided to bring the game in there as well. So tell everybody what you put together for Let's Get It Cut barbershop in Philly.
All right, so October 12th, we got our first offline matchup between Dope Son and the Burger Man. The two guys from New York. They're under the True Sims Undisputed League. And they're actually a little backstory behind it. They were both former champions. And right now, the Burger Man defeated Dope Son on a championship fight. So Dope Son is looking for his revenge. If you look at a link below, you can join our Discord to get some more information on the fight. One great thing about it is we want to get the community involved. So the fight is on matcherino.com. The link will be in the description. When we have this set up, we want to give a chance for the community to contribute to the purse. So every member in the WBGC will have a chance to, donate or contribute money to the purse and make it bigger and make the event more exciting.
Pay-per-view.
Right now, yeah, kind of, well, not like a pay-per-view, but kind of, sort of. Right
But
now,
in the sense that the fans help the talent make money
correct.
by putting their money down, right? Although
Yeah.
you're not the reason why you would say it's actually not pay-per-views, you're not required to pay to view the fight. But
No.
be nice. It's
But
nice
they can contribute, and
Yeah.
it'll make the scene a lot better, and I think it's a great idea because all players will get incentivized, so they're not playing for nothing, and kind of give it that virtual boxing career, like how Shawn knows it very well, that you got to work really hard to get to the top, and there's a lot of trials and tribulations. It's not, nothing comes easy, and we want to kind of apply those fundamentals to the boxing game community as far as what we're doing. And yeah, it's great. People are contributing, so the pot is bigger right now. So yeah, we'll see October 12th. Real excited. Dope Son and the Burger Man are real excited to be part of this, and yeah, looking forward to being in Philly.
A couple more things. The other side of that, for anyone who may show up, want to hang out at the barbershop while we're doing the actual episode, they're able to play the game as well, or is this event specific to the Burger Man and the other
Dope
guy?
Son. Dope Son. This is just a sanctioned fight that the WBC and True Sims Undisputed League has put together. This is kind of what we want to do. Like Shawn Zittel mentioned, we want to build this organically. So, whenever the PorterWay Podcast is doing a fight week coverage at any major market, we definitely want to host an offline event, either if it's going to be
come on down and get your
a
ass
single match, a single matchup, or if it's going to be a bracket base when we have multiple players. Every market that we're going to be in, we're definitely going to host a offline tournament, and that's going to definitely be exciting. I'm looking forward to every city that we've been to. We missed out on so many opportunities already, Shawn, with all the markets we've been to, but the game hasn't been out. Game comes out tomorrow, so yeah, it's going to be a game changer.
Other thing is, please make the announcement of the event we have going on November 2nd right here in Las Vegas.
So November 2nd, we have our first WBGC tournament, like actual tournament, and it's going to be at Radiant Technologies in Las Vegas. It's November 2nd. Doors open at 12. The event starts at 1. The link of the Eventbrite for ticket sales are going to be in the description. Sign up. There's going to be limited slots available, and we've got some special hosts or special guests. We're going to have special hosts. And who is it going to be there, Shawn?
I have Terence Crawford confirmed to come hang out with us.
Okay.
I have Showbiz the Adult confirmed to come hang out with us. And I have Fanatical confirmed to come hang out with us.
Boxing Fanatico.
Boxing Fanatical, and I believe I'm not sure if Biz is gonna get on the controller. I can't imagine he won't. Of course, me and Crawford gonna have to get on at some point and hang out with y'all and play the game with y'all. But Boxing Fanatical, he says he's the guy, and he says that he actually helped with the orchestration of this video game as a whole. So kind of know these buttons the way don't nobody else know these buttons, Mr. Zittel. So
Zittel, what's going on? I thought
everybody
you the guy. You the PorterWay Podcast player right
I
there.
don't know.
Yeah.
We might have to drop him and pick up Boxing Fanatical because he said he the guy.
Way to light a fire under me, Sean. I appreciate that.
No,
Should we set some up?
There was a guy, Shep, at the launch party for Canelo Berlanga fight week, right after we did our thing, Friday before the fight, and I headed over to the launch party, and I think Shep, he was crowned champion before I got there, and then I beat him, and then he beat me, so we split 1-1. So we'll see, man. Shep, I think, is in the same ballpark of skill as Fanatico, so that might be the finals. We'll see. Me and Fanatico.
listen, we have it on the Eventbrite, as you can hear with the guests that we have coming beyond myself. I give you guys a lot, and I've given you guys a lot, and just trying to figure out different ways to pivot and make more opportunities a little bit more lucrative. So not by any means are we expecting to get rich off of hosting these tournaments and things like that. However, when we are bringing in some relatively some how do you say, some VIPs, we want to make sure that it's done correctly, and we will have security on the premises. It's going to be a nice night, much more intimate than anything else you could be a part of, and we're gonna have a boxing ring in there, and we're gonna get to it. It's gonna be a great time.
I'm really looking forward to it. And again, the link is in the description below for the Eventbrite, for our Discord, so you can join and get some more information as far as the WBGC. And look forward. We're going to be streaming some fights from the Undisputed, and going to be from the top players from all over the world. So yeah, we're gonna tackle online and offline organically, and I'm really excited.
Very good. And for anybody that doesn't realize already, the WBGC is in great hands with Didier right there below. And right here, Zittel will be helping as well. So Didier, man, thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming on.
Gonna get back to work, get on this Discord, and keep on promoting.
Yes, sir. In a minute.
Later, brother.
Thanks,
Later,
guys.
DDA.
Goodbye.
Hey, listen, I've learned to just let people get off on their own, because I would like try to get somebody off, because sometimes you just fumbling with the buttons and you still on there. And anytime I've gotten somebody off, I've blocked them and they haven't been able to call back in. So I just let him do it himself. But man,
I noticed in the comments they always think you're like trying to rush the guest, and
Yeah.
I want to tell them, if they're listening, I'm pretty sure it's not that. It's Sean trying to be respectful of their time. Isn't that what it really is?
You gotta. I think I know no one forgets that I did what I did, but I understand most of the boxing world ain't like me, and I'm not putting shade on anybody, but most of the boxing world, and Zittel, you've seen me.
Yeah.
I will stand there for an hour, 2 hours, and do interviews. You've seen my dad kind of pull me away and say, because that's just me. But most fighters are kind of like, they want to be in and out. They want that 5 to 10 minutes. I've loosened up, and I've gotten a little more loose with it, and allowed fighters to just kind of be on and hang out and kick it. And I've had to learn that for myself. A lot of guests that we have, they like being on the show, kicking it with us. They don't,
Right.
they don't necessarily want to get rushed off. So it's funny, because it's like now there's the median of me understanding most fighters, most athletes in general, not really wanting to be on a show or anything like that, but they like the show and they want to hang out with us. So, I feel like I've gotten a little bit better with that.
No, yeah, you definitely were, especially for a guy who was starting to win titles, make good money, very accessible. I won't forget, after you made weight for Ugas on the second attempt and cut your hair and everything, I remember you came over to us in LA he's like, all right, guys, let's do it. Let's be quick. And I thought to myself, let's be quick. Why are you even doing this? Like, you may go eat. Like, you just made weight. Like, we don't expect to talk to you after you make weight, really. But
those are some of the things that people like missed or don't know. And the only reason why I want to just really quickly talk about that is because I have always been transparent. I've always done my best to be me and be real and authentic with my audience in the ring, out of the ring, as a podcast, as a broadcast. The list goes on. And so, if at any point you felt like Shawn was faking, or you felt like Shawn wasn't who he say he is, or anything like that, you being able to say, hey, he missed the weight by 2.5 pounds, and then struggled even the second time he got on the scale and still gave us time. I felt the need to explain to y'all, hey, this was a hiccup. It was my fault. My protocol was a little off, but don't let this think that I'm not gonna go in there and do what I got to do tomorrow night. You know what I mean? These are the things I feel if more fighters did, it would validate what happens on fight night a little more. I mean, even from a judging and a ref perspective, if judges and refs held themselves accountable a little bit more, or were held accountable a little bit more, I think it would ease the tensions and frustrations that most people have around boxing. You know what I mean? Last thing, I guess,
transparency and
yeah. And I think another thing too is when people are frustrated about decisions and things of that nature, people don't realize there's two things happening. And y'all already know I watch a lot of football, and I watch some basketball. I know that they do it in basketball as well. I'm not sure about other sports, but I know specifically the football. They show you the rules damn near every game.
Mm-hmm.
They show you, they have somebody come on and break down a certain flag every single.
I was covering the Bronco Raiders game yesterday, right? Every time they threw a flag, on the big screen showed holding, and then a paragraph or two long about what holding is, what encroachment is, what illegal formation is. Literally, like, yeah. So to your point, yeah.
People have grown up learning how to judge based on what the person next to them said, whether it's their dad or their uncle or friends or cousins or whatever the case may be. You haven't been told how to judge by boxing. You've been told how to judge by the audience you're around. And so I've even realized this, that people that I respect in the game, like I respect people, there's people that I respect in this game, and they felt like Terence Crawford lost his fight against Madrimar and told me you got to take the belt from the champion. Please break that down to me. What is taking the belt from the champion? Somebody that's not an aggressive fighter can't all of a sudden, I have to take the belt from the champion, so I have to be aggressive tonight. It don't work that way. You know what I mean? But this is, if anything, this is what's come up on that scoreboard. Take the belt from the champion. And now there's people in this world that they all have different notions of what that means.
I think that cliche in the sport was stronger in decades past. I think it doesn't really hold up now. And the real point of take the belt from the champion, it meant instead of winning one, and that phrase really comes from the 15-round era, where you'd literally have fights that were 8-7, one way or the other, right? And 8-7 mathematically is closer than 7-5, which is as close as we could get in the 12-round era, right? But that's a 2-point difference as opposed to one. Yeah, I think so back in the day, they'd have said like Michaela Mayer didn't do enough to take the belt from the champion. But you and I know at the end of those belts are hanging in the air. Think of it like a WWF ladder match. Like the belts are hanging in the air, and whoever can grab up and take them takes them that night. There is no tie goes to the runner, like reaching first base in baseball. Like it's just whoever wins more rounds wins the fight. It doesn't matter who's who. You got to remove the names from it. You got to remove the accomplishments from it. Whoever If you win, if you pull out 6 rounds in a 10-round fight or 7 rounds in a 12-round fight, you won the fight. So yeah,
we're not going to fix this problem, and we'll move on after I say this. But I really want to like give this one more go and explain to people from a psychological perspective what plays into a judge's mind when it comes to judging a fight. The way you're supposed to judge a fight, every round is like the first round. Every round, it's supposed to be brand new. But psychologically, we recognize behaviors, we recognize patterns. And when we see certain behaviors and certain patterns, what our psyche ingests is that's what's going to happen, and that's what's happening. You'll have a fighter makes an adjustment maybe after 3 or 4 rounds, but judges may not recognize that adjustment because their mind is fixed on the previous patterns and behaviors that they've seen. So a really hard fight, I believe, hard to score. Two really hard fights to score. My fight with Keith and my fight with Errol. For different reasons, but very, very similar reasons as well, where you notice the pattern of big punches being landed in both those fights, opposed to accumulation of punches, and your psyche may have gotten caught to, well, he's still in rounds with bigger punches. Is it so much that he's still in rounds with bigger punches, or is it because it's not happening every round, but is that where your mind and your brain is fixated on those certain patterns that you've seen? You know what I mean? Statistically, I beat both those guys, which is like crazy. If boxing was based on statistics, if boxing was based on the numbers, the way that every other sport is, I win both those fights.
Carson, if he was on here, he'd smack that down. I know.
Yeah, 100%.
He would knock that down, but
no. But you can't. It's like people say, men lie, women lie, and numbers don't. So. But the reason why I said all that is because I want people to understand, when you think you're seeing one thing and something else happens at the end of the fight. Number one, respect to everyone, but you got to understand that you've learned how to judge a fight based on the people around you, not based on most people, not based on going to boxing gyms and watching sparring, not based on being ringside at fights, watching multiple fights, and certainly not based on being shadowing other judges and referees and being taught how to judge and referee fights. And so, that's one side of it. And then the other side is, you got to understand that the psychological side of it, a lot of judges have a hard time letting go of what happened the previous round or rounds, and it has an effect on what they're seeing in real time in that moment. So
yeah, you got to be present for all 3 minutes of every round. You can't make your mind up too early in a fight. Like while you're talking about it, Max Kellerman did a great job of that in the Canelo Khan fight, where when I first watched that fight, I thought Khan was up 5-0 on Canelo before he got knocked out. But Max was actually the one pointing out that in rounds 3, 4, and 5, he's like, Canelo's actually starting to catch him and outbox him while coming forward. And you couldn't see that unless you watched the HBO broadcast and kind of peeped what Max was talking about. So yeah, it's I see it all the time in commentary where one guy's doing one thing for a couple rounds and they just stay stuck on it and they don't adjust to what the other guy's doing. They don't adjust their commentary to what another fighter's adjustments are, and they kind of get their mind made up early and stay on that narrative for the rest of the fight. So, but yeah, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, all that being said, though, man, there was a fight this weekend that didn't require a judge.
No,
and that's Janibek versus the Australian
Andre Mikhailovich.
Yeah.
Russian blooded, Australian adopted. Yeah.
Janibek looked strong.
Yeah, he did. He's got a hell of a left hand. And Mikhailovich made him work on the inside. It was a little bit of, that's not where Janibek's strong suit is on the inside. And a lot of times Mikhailovich smothered him in this fight, got some work done in this fight, showed a lot of grit, but technically, this was a man versus a boy. is what I saw in the fight. And I don't mean that from a literal sense. I mean from a technical and skills and experience standpoint, pedigree standpoint. Because in terms of heart, Andre Mikhailovich was all man. Like that fight looked like it should have been over by the end of the second round. And he would throw his lead right hand and then just smother. Lead right hand against the southpaw, smother. And then as the fight went on, and he was so outgunned at range, he didn't even throw the lead right hand to get in. He just did whatever he could to get inside, smother that left-handed Janibek. Actually got some work done, and it was a little surprising the fight went as long as it did because Janibek doesn't love to fight on the inside. He wanted the ref to break him apart. Ref wasn't doing that because they were in Australia. They were in they were in New Zealand, excuse me. They were in New Zealand.
Right.
But Janibek he did show some good work on the inside and then got him at range again and finished him off. Referee did a good job stopping the fight. Mikhailovich took a lot of punishment in this fight, but he did show a lot of grit and a lot of gumption, but just technically completely outgunned, especially at range, at mid or long range. And so the only place he could be safe was up close, smothering Janibek. So, good stuff by Janibek.
Yeah, man, a really good fight from Janibek. And the other side of that, listen, two things. Number one, a lot of people didn't know this mandatory challenger. And so that kind of plays into a lot of people like, oh, well, we don't know that guy. He's not one of the big names, but he did what he was supposed to do with that guy that we don't know, that doesn't have the big name. Furthermore, he put a stamp on what he's been able to deliver to us time and time again. He's a big southpaw, strong, and has a very powerful left hand. And as we can see, very skillful and knowledgeable in the game. So, what I really would like to see these guys do is get busy and stay busy no matter who it is. Brian Kenny, I had a conversation with Brian Kenny when we were working Fox. And I gotta be honest, I wasn't trying to hear what he was saying at that point in time because I had a game plan and I was set with what I was doing. At that point in time, I hadn't fought Errol yet. And what are you gonna do? And I said, I'm waiting on this Errol fight. He said, champ, don't wait on that fight. He said, just stay busy. And he named all these 80s fighters that no matter who it was, they were staying busy and they were still getting paid. It wasn't the big money. And he said, you can't worry about the big money. He said, just get back in there. The more people see you, the more people, will come accustomed to who you are and what you're doing. It made so much sense, but I had a game plan. And of course, that Errol fight came like pretty soon after. He didn't know that, and I wasn't going to tell him, hey, we're almost done, making this fight happen. But it stuck with me because he's right. In a sport that fighters are seldom seen, the more you're seen, the bigger impact you have in the sport, and ultimately the more fans you have once you're out of the ring. Prime example, Ryan Garcia. We know the following he has. His following follows him when he gets out of the ring. And they've been following him when he got out of the ring for a long time because of the things he was able to display on his social media. Fighters that don't have that social media following, you got to stay more active. You got to get back in the ring. I didn't tell him I was going to do this, but I'm just going to do it. I text Frank Martin yesterday just to check on him, see how he was doing. Small little conversation. I said, yo, man, you got to get back in the ring. And he's like, yeah, that was the plan, but it's looking like first quarter now. And I'm sorry, Frank, if I'm, divulging information that I shouldn't, but I have to make this point. He wants to get back in the ring. The business of boxing just isn't allowing it to happen. But when you get in the ring with someone such as Tank Davis, there's a magnifying glass over you. Now, here's the thing. And please follow me with this analogy because it just came to me. You're under that magnifying glass, the light is hitting that glass, and Tank does what he does, and boom, you burn up on that night. But the thing is, you're just crispy, but you still have relevancy, you still have a name. The sooner you can get in the ring, people are saying what? Oh, that's the guy that Tank just knocked out. So what? Let them say that's the guy that Tank just knocked out. The bottom line is they recognize you.
They know who you are. Yeah.
You know who you
You
are.
got to capitalize on that while they still link you to that moment. Like
Exactly.
Jaime
Because
Munguia just did with Canelo. He just fought Eric
exactly.
Bazinian. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, Frank Martin is not a Jaime, so people don't know his name. So they're going to be saying, "Oh, that's the guy that Tank knocked out." You get back in the ring against whomever, and you do what you do, how you do it,
Get a
and
guy
people
out of
go,
there.
exactly. And you say, and people are saying, "Oh, that's Frank Martin.
Frank
He got
Martin.
knocked out, but that was a great fight. I want to see him again." You know what I mean? You
Yep.
have to capitalize on moments.
100%. I mean, Azuma Nelson, he loses to Salvador Sanchez and then stays active, becomes a legend in his own right in the next 10 years. So yeah, absolutely.
It's
And
a fine line. You got to deal with health. You got to deal with decompressing from a long training camp, and you got to deal with where's my hunger level and all these other things, especially when you lose, and especially when you lose by a TKO or something along those lines. But the way I look at it, if I was Frank Martin, the way I look at it, I would have been back in the ring this month. And I knew when I texted him he wasn't getting in the ring this month. But the further away you get away from that fight or a big fight, the further away you get away from all of the fans that you just that could become fans of yours.
yeah, because for Jaime Munguia, it worked out well. He got an exciting knockout on ESPN, and maybe Frank would jump at that kind of opportunity. It's just not being presented to him right now, to be fair to Frank, right? But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could speak to it better. Maybe it requires a degree of humility where, hey, I was just fighting on the biggest stage possible. Now I'm fighting a guy no one's heard of in Bazinian, and not fighting at T-Mobile, not fighting in Vegas, not fighting in California, fighting in Arizona on an ESPN card. But that wound up not getting his. Well, you know what? I think Sandy, the girls might have outdrew that card, but Munguia resonated with his fan base. The Mexican fan gave them an exciting fight. They got to see him again, and he won. So he's in business. He's good. He's got Edgar Berlanga calling him out for a big fight. He's got options now. He's straight. Now, those options would probably dwindle and get less lucrative if he can't turn around and get back in that ring quickly. But again, to be fair to Frank, he's probably not being really presented too many opportunities to really jump on that. But to your point, I think part of what you're saying is if they're only offering you an undercard bout on the Tank pay-per-view, or if Benavidez and Morel are going to fight on a pay-per-view, or if Errol Spence and Fundora, just take it, right? I mean, get back in there.
Easier said than done.
It is, especially.
And again, when you're making a certain purse, and that purse isn't the same, and I'm not going to say any names, but I know fighters personally that held out because the purse wasn't big enough, and held out because the name don't match the purse. If that's the purse you want, this the name you gotta have. And it's like, oh, and I know personally, you find fighters that are trying to juggle making a lot of money fighting a lesser opponent, or risking fighting a better opponent and making that money, but possibly coming up short. So it's a fine line. I get it. But obviously the bottom line and the moral to all this is fighters need to be busier. You're not fighting every week like NFL, NBA. And the busier you are, within reason, of course, you should be. I mean, Jaime is the perfect example of that. There's no better example.
What he did this year. Yeah.
There's no better example.
How you do it.
Yeah.
Janibek, he is, by most accounts, I would agree, he's the best middleweight in boxing right now.
Yeah, it looks
but he's kind of got to settle for the Larry Holmes thing, the Donald Curry, Marlon Starling thing, where it's like, you're the man of the division, no one questions it. And by the way, Larry Holmes, one of the greatest heavyweights ever, but I'm not saying Janibek is Larry Holmes. He's not. No offense to Janibek.
There's nobody there.
But there's nobody there. There's not a lot of talent in the division. Or if there is talent, it's not famous. It's not household name talent. And so you as the top dog in a division like that get a little underappreciated. People feel like you're a big fish in a small pool. And the other champions, Erislandy Lara, Carlos Adames, that's not making anybody go, oh, I gotta see that.
Mhm.
Him and Adames, because Lara is, I mean, I know Lara just stopped Danny, but him and Adames is probably the fight that would determine who's the definitely the best middleweight in the world. But a lot of the fans, Sean, they want to see him fight his mandatory Hamza Shiraz. You know, Shiraz, who's got that long range offense, very sharp on the outside, very active on the outside, and not.
I'm not that high on him.
Well, okay, I was going to get to that part where he's more active than Janibek. He throws more combinations than Janibek, but he's not as savvy and crafty at that long range that he throws those combinations at as Janibek is.
Yeah.
But I think Janibek, even against Mikhailovich, against Denzel Bentley from the UK, he shows he does prefer his fights at a certain pace, at a certain distance. And Shiraz, who fights at that distance he likes, but doesn't fight at the pace he likes.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
You know, right. And so that's what makes that fight interesting.
I hear you.
Know?
I hear you.
So
what else we got, big dog?
We got Nick Ball defended his title against Ronny Rios, knocked him out the ring. The top two contenders for his title now are Stephen Fulton and Shushu Carrington. We said it before we got on. You know, Nick Ball is like the Isak Cruz at 126. But I think you said you think he's a little bit better, possibly.
He's a better version of Isak. Very, very similar style in terms of their aggressive approach, hands straight up. I'm gonna walk you down. But Nick walks you down behind the jab. He's got much better feet. I would say Isak's feet are a C minus. Nick's feet are B plus, A minus, B plus, A minus. And he's not a one trick pony. You know, he can go up and down. He can create things. You can tell that he's thinking, and he's thinking very, very fast. Isak doesn't. I don't think Isak. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think Isak thinks. I think Isak he's very systematic. This is the punch I'm gonna throw, and I'm gonna hit you with this punch. And it's like there's really behind that. There's no rhyme and reason for the startup or the finish for Isak. So I think Nick is the better fighter of those two guys. Of course, they're very far from one another right now, 26 and 40.
So Sean, do you feel like Nick Ball, to be technical with it, is he closes the gap quicker, his feet are a little quicker in getting there, and his punch selection is more creative?
Punch selection more creative, and like I said before, he thinks. He knows when offense is coming. He knows when to use defense, and he's not just a wrecking ball and a straight target the way that Isak is.
How do you think Fulton or Carrington does if they fight for his title soon?
I'm really curious to see what a fight with Fulton looks like, because seeing Fulton get dropped by Castro in his last fight, seeing him get hit in exchanges, Nick is that kind of fighter where you have to take chances. I don't think Nick is the kind of guy that you can just box on the back foot and continue to turn him. He's very quick and he's got good feet. So he can pick up on your turns, and he can line you up and send you somewhere to really be effective with offense. So a fight with Fulton, I feel it becomes a firefight. And if Nick has the kind of power that it looks like he has, he could do some damage to Fulton. I'm not sure who wins that fight.
Well, we're always the biased American podcast, if you read some of the comments, but so I'll offset some of that by saying Ball, based on their recent performances at 26, he deserves to be the favorite if they fought tomorrow against Carrington or Fulton, the Americans. Absolutely. I still think both of them, especially Carrington, are capable of beating him. Mm-hmm. I do think Raymond Ford was making a tough weight cut at 26, but Nick Ball is also just a good fighter and gave him his hands full and got the W. But I think Fulton, I definitely wouldn't count him out if he's got a perfect night in him. And he was getting rocked by Castro, right? But we did see Caleb Plant dealing with similar ring rust get rocked by Trevor McCumbee early in that fight on the same card. once he got some rounds in, he took the power better. So maybe Fulton getting that last fight under his belt, if he could get that activity going, like you were talking about earlier, he can have his legs underneath him. He can have his reflexes underneath him. And maybe he can put together a great game plan, have enough Philadelphia grit to hold up in the trenches when he needs to.
Yeah.
And maybe he could beat Nick Ball. I wouldn't count him out, but
I mean,
Ball's got to be the favorite right now.
We saw it against Brandon Figueroa.
Right, same thing.
We saw it against Leo as well.
Angelo Leo, yep.
Angelo Leo as well. You know, where he it's no secret. I mean, we know he can bite down and get it. But it's a higher weight class. Statistically, naturally, we would expect the punches to be a little heavier. The way that Nick delivers his punches, he delivers them deliberately with power. Figueroa has always been a break you down, wear you down kind of guy, and Leo that was a really good back and forth fight. You know, so again, you're adding the element of the work rate, but also the element of more power. So that's a tough fight. I think it's a really good fight. And you know, for Fulton, I think that what I'm looking at is you're in a position where you need to be making the most money you can make and fighting in front of the most people you can fight in front of. That means going to England for this one.
There you go. Right. And get your Errol Spence Kell Brook on. See if you can come back overseas with the belt, take the belt off of him. And then for a Carrington fight, you know, like we broke it down. I thought, you know, I'm biased, but I thought we broke it down really well. Bruce's last fight, and falling in love with the pull counters, falling in love with one part of his tool set. You could argue that would be that could even work against Nick Ball, because Nick Ball is giving you something to counter, unlike Suleiman Sagawa, who's got long arms and moves around a lot. Nick Ball got short arms and wants to rumble. And so Carrington would technically get plenty of opportunities to do what he's loved doing lately, to pull counters. But if that's all you're doing against him, then this kid might get underneath you in that pocket that you want to work from so much. So you got to do like Raymond Ford did in the rounds he was winning, and keep him on the end of the jab, and let the counters come in the pocket on your terms, as opposed to just letting them walk right in, get in your wheelhouse where he likes to operate too. So yeah. We'll see.
I think Bruce is more dynamic and has more variety, and that's why I would favor him a little easier, I guess, for the sake of words, and I would favor Fulton. I think that
also younger and bigger.
Yeah, and Carrington he just has a little bit more to his repertoire, you know. So but two really good fights. Nick Ball, I do wish that some of these English fighters had more of a bigger following over here in the United States. I wish that some of them were have I guess for the sake of words, more respect from the American audience, because some of those guys over there really are electric.
I think the hardcores respect any of those guys. From, you know, the real hardcore boxing fans in America, a lot of times they like the guys from overseas better than they like their fighters in the United States. So I know what you mean. Nobody, relatively speaking, knows who Nick Ball is in America, but for the people who love boxing in America, they know what he is, and they respect him a lot now. So
what else we got?
Well, we got arguably the best fight of the year coming up.
Oh, yes.
Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol this Saturday.
Yes.
I'm
sorry, but we have people who are on the Discord for the WGBC, and they were debating going to the fight or hanging out with us at the barbershop. We'll be there most of the day. We will also be doing a fight party at the barbershop as well. We'll have the fight there, all the good stuff. So I'll be there for a lot of Saturday, the 12th. I'll be at Let's Get It Cut barbershop for a majority of the day. So if I had to tell you which one to go, I would say go to this fight, because this one is guaranteed to please. But
genuinely historic fight. Yeah. First 4-belt champion in light heavyweight history.
Wow.
Roy Jones was undisputed in the 3-belt era.
Yeah.
But we haven't had an undisputed light heavyweight champion in the 4-belt era.
Wow.
So
That's amazing. It's coming. It's coming. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. If I wasn't a boxing guy and I didn't know anything about this fight, why would I watch this fight?
well, you're going to see something probably special happen. Artur Beterbiev, 20-0, 20 knockouts. Dmitry Bivol beat Canelo. But Dmitry Bivol is the younger guy who's actually favored to win the fight, I think in part because he beat Canelo. And Artur Beterbiev's 39 years old and has some injuries. Had to pull out of this fight originally in June because of an injury. So I think the consensus is that while super dangerous, Dmitry Bivol is probably going to win a decision because he's younger, his feet are a little fresher, maybe his hands might be a little faster, and he's got that big shock absorber neck to hold up to the firepower when he needs to, when he's not outboxing Artur Beterbiev. And he beat Canelo. So he's probably going to win. But I got Beterbiev, Sean. I got Beterbiev in this fight. I do. I think
got my attention.
I think we see the difference between excellent, superb, really, really, really good in Dmitry Bivol and that special, that X factor from Artur Beterbiev. And I think that, Beterbiev's craft might be a little overlooked. I actually don't think it's that overlooked. I think if anybody has an opinion on this fight, you already really know boxing. If you know these two and you're tuned into this, I think people know Beterbiev's more than just a puncher, but they expect that youth, that jab, the feet of Bivol to just be a step ahead and to counter this guy coming in. But I really I always break down tape for our fights, but this one, these big ones, I really sink my teeth into it to another level. And I noticed some things about Bivol. He has, if you get past his first or second layer of defense, which is the positioning with his feet, the lead foot and the lead hand feints, and then the high guard, the quick twitchy high guard, and the in and out movement. But it's very, as my boy Brendan Taylor said, he used the right words to describe it for me. He's very north and south.
Yeah, so he's I'm sorry, but he's one step back or two steps back, and then he goes to the high guard, right?
Yes. And if
there's no turn, there's no.
You know who does do that? Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev goes east and west. Artur Beterbiev goes left and right. Mm-hmm. And Artur Beterbiev has a double jab, a punishing double jab that hurts, by the way. Doesn't just don't that he can follow Bivol out the back door with that double jab. And what happens with Bivol, if you're able to cut the gap on him, by the way, Joe Smith cut the gap on him. He didn't have the hand speed and the skills and the wherewithal that Artur Beterbiev has. But the fact that Joe Smith, who Beterbiev got at, we watched it on my son's birthday party. You were there. We watched it in my living room. Yep. He disposed of Joe Smith in 2 or 3 rounds, dropped him several times. Joe Smith, now I know styles make fights. You can't just look at one fight and take one common opponent.
And Joe was nervous too. So that plays a lot into it.
Well, Joe had a face of, I've never been hit with something. What is this? Like, I'm the guy doing that to other people. You don't do that to me. I do that to you. I'm the puncher. Yeah. And, but he was able to close the gap. Anyways, Bivol, if you get past that first or second layer we were just talking about, his answer then is to let his hands go. Mm-hmm. Because you get past that first and second layer, he's not moving the upper body. He's not turning you that much. He needs to go back a couple steps before he makes his pivot. He does, and whereas Beterbiev can take a step out or a half step out and turn you a little bit into his combinations, into his punches. So if he tries to just let his hands go, once Beterbiev with that double jab cuts that distance, Beterbiev's like, it's on. You open up, I open up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get you. Yeah. And Bivol, the one punch he's been hit with, like his last fight against Malik Zanad and against Joe Smith back in the day, he gets hit with the right hand. And that's Beterbiev's best punch. He's not one of these punchers that needs to wing the left hook, load up on the uppercut. He wants to get you with the brick hand. He wants to get you with this. And he can throw it straight. He could throw it off the double jab. He could loop it to where you don't see it coming. And what's special about his power, Sean, he could be up on you like this and hit you with little arm punches, and they hurt. They're concussive blows. He doesn't even need to get full leverage on his punches. I mean, like anybody else, he punches harder if he gets that leverage.
Yeah.
He also shows that he could hit hard on the back foot a little bit. So if Bivol is like, you know what, I don't want to keep going back because this guy's following me out the back door. He's getting me to the ropes, and I can't be on the ropes in this fight. Canelo got him to the ropes early in the rounds, and Canelo don't got the feet that Beterbiev has. He doesn't have the active jab. He's got way better head movement than Artur Beterbiev. Anyways, I just think I think Beterbiev has the tools to make something special happen. Because I feel like if Bivol wins, it's just going to be excellent, superb. He's going to outbox him for 12. But if Beterbiev can pull this off, we're going to see something special. Yeah. And he's going to join. I mean, Bivol will join the Pantheon too if he wins. But if Beterbiev wins and can stop Bivol late, I think we're talking Bob Foster, Roy Jones, Michael Spinks, we're talking, a truly special light heavyweight. And Bivol will be in that conversation too. But I feel like Beterbiev's the one that has the potential to produce something special and memorable for the boxing fans Saturday night.
Beautifully put. Well done, sir.
Thank you. So you're just taking it in. You're just taking in.
I'm not taking anything in. I was seeing if somebody could get onto the podcast real quick. Lonnie, because Lonnie
B. Lonnie has been the Beterbiev. That man will tell you about Beterbiev better than anyone else. I've went back and forth with him because over the years I said, I think Benavidez one day can move up to 75 and beat Beterbiev. Styles make fights. And he's like, no, he is adamant that he sparred both and it is night and day. And he said no one has ever hit him like Artur Beterbiev has. So.
Yeah, I'm texting him right now. I just wanted one more that could really kind of explain Artur Beterbiev. There's a lot of people I think who have seen him and know about him, but don't really know it all. Guys that spar with fighters and have the opportunity of being comfortable are able to, I think, find out a little bit more than guys on fight night. On fight night, you're so focused, you're hyper focused on everything that you got going on. You'll go back and watch a fight, and you'll see and notice things that you didn't notice during the fight. You know what I mean? So someone who's been in the ring with Artur, I think, could really articulate even go a step further from where you were. And I think Lonnie is a talker. He loves to talk boxing and stuff like that. And he came to mind, but I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna wait for him to jump on because I got Bivol winning this fight. And I have Bivol winning this fight for the most simplest reasons. For not
as sexy, not as romantic as right, not as romantic, right.
Let's let Lonnie B come in here real quick. Hopefully he don't mess this up, man. All right, don't mess this up, man.
Let us get you full screen, Lonnie. At the DLX gym, I see.
Turn your phone around. Okay. Yeah. All right. Don't mess this up, man. It's a great opportunity for you, man.
Right. That's
gonna lead to other ones.
Yeah. No facts. I said. No, we gotta pause.
No, listen. We're breaking down Beterbiev versus Bivol. It's happening this weekend. I'm sure you know. Yeah. And when Zittel started talking about the power of Beterbiev, and he started talking about how he doesn't need that full range to get off his power, how he can turn things from right here, and it still deliver. I said, well, shit, don't nobody know better than Lonnie B.
Right. No, Shawn, you made a good point, brother. Dude is phenomenal. We was in amateurs together. We had guys like your Thomas Riley who can pull big, was knocking out everybody. Yeah. I talk about decapitating guys. You had D-Ray D-Cray. You had I fought Kovalev. You had guys. I sparred on Chad Dawson before. I was his main sparring partner for Andre Ward. And when I got in there with Artur, it was like, when you've been there with so many good fighters, you hear a guy is strong and you say, you know how it is, Shawn. You like, okay, I was one of the best amateur boxers in the country. That comes with the game. Okay. Well, I ain't some guys he knocked out. But when he hit me, I said, wait. What the fuck is that? Like I said, that is something. Wait. Time out. And Mike Ramsey, his trainer, said, I said, Mark, how you want me to spar him? Because like everybody who know I get busy. Like anybody that know me know, like, you know, I get busy. And I've been there with everybody. But Mark said, just do your best. and I kind of got offended. Like,
yeah.
Okay, all right. Shawn, you a fighter, so you know how you know.
Yeah.
We nice sharks.
Yeah.
Like, but when he hit me, oh my God! And Arthur got one of them styles. You look at him on tape and you say, he's strong, but you know, you think about all your professional tricks, like you know, the hoe and hitting on the hips and crowding and putting your weight on somebody and trying to, you know what I'm saying? But he's a lot better than he look on TV. He got one of them styles where you get in there, you say, whoa. Shawn, even with you, Shawn, like most guys look at you and be like, oh, Shawn. And I'm like, I used to be like, what? Shawn can, okay. You gonna see when you get in there.
Yeah.
You gonna see. Like,
hey, have you been in the ring with Bivol?
Never been in the ring with Bivol.
Okay.
But I know people that have, and they like, and I'm not gonna say no names, but the people that have been in there with them is like, I'm giving them good work. And I'm like, and I just look at Bivol's resume. Look, don't get me wrong, Bivol is a very good fighter. I'm not gonna take nothing away from him. But I mean, everybody say he beat Canelo. I mean, but come on, Canelo's a blown up 54-pounder, 60-pounder at best. We just saw that he might not. 68 might be, you know what I'm saying? Like, he fought Brenagh. I mean, he won, but was anybody expecting it to go the distance? Be honest, Shawn. Like, I mean, if we're going to keep it like, let's keep it all the way at being. Like, you know what I'm saying? He won, but it's like, we was expecting more. It's Canelo. We was expecting more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
if you look at the fight with Bivol and Canelo, Bivol never tried to step it up on him and get him out of there not once.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Bivol, hey Shawn, Bivol couldn't even hurt him.
Yeah.
Like Canelo was just too small. And I believe Canelo got tired. But Canelo had him on the ropes half of the fight. Bivol just outworked him. But he ain't give him a busted lip, a swollen eye. And Canelo still believes he can win. He's like, I want a rematch. I still believe I can win.
Yeah.
So,
he said,
if you look at
better, you ain't gonna be.
Well, no. When Beterbiev, when he's asked about Beterbiev, he's like, "No, not interested. Just a rematch with Bivol." Like he's not even entertaining the idea.
There we go.
Beterbiev, right?
There we go. You know, it's crazy because when I spar with him, I'll look forward to the next day. I'll be like, "Yo, I hope that's it." I hope they say, "Yo, we're gonna pay you, but we're gonna send you home because you know we got some other stuff to do."
Oh, man,
it's heavy, huh? It's hell, Shawn.
You got him beat. You got him beating Bivol.
Yeah, pretty easy. Here's my thing. I believe Bivol's style was tailor-made for Arthur. You got to think, two Olympics, you think he ain't seen a million Bivols? And my thing is this. He dropped Usyk, who's, in my opinion, boxed better than Bivol. And Arthur put him down at heavyweight.
Yeah.
If you look
Shawn likes to always point out how he beat Usyk in the amateurs.
Oh, yeah, Shawn.
But Beterbiev put him down. He lost to him, Shawn, but he put him down.
Yeah, but Shawn's a smaller, quicker guy, and Shawn, you was a dog in amateurs. Ooh, I remember when I first saw you fight, you look like a little pit bull. You like 160.
Yeah, 60, 65. Yeah.
I mean, brick wall. I saw you fight Danny. I saw you put Danny down 2 times, down and still lost. I'm like, what?
I told that story on the podcast. What? I ain't say who it was though.
I'm like, that's impossible. That's literally impossible. I see you crushing. I'm like, yo, this dude is a silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we did everything you did as a pro. It didn't shock me. Like, Shawn is like that. I expect it.
Yeah.
But with Arthur and Bivol, I think if you look at Volznik, Alexander Volznik, in my opinion, had a better resume than Bivol. He put Adonis Stevenson on life support. Adonis Stevenson, who retired a lot of fighters.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it a bean.
Adonis was the champion. He was the man. when
Come on, Sean.
beat him. Yeah,
there we go, Sean. And he put him, and Sean, and he put him on life support. He put him on life support, like retired him. And look what Artur. I was in camp with Volznik and Zerto when he was gonna fight Bivol. I was in camp, and I'm looking at Volznik like, yo, you look like a twin tower, and I'm looking like Artur. Stop. I'm in my head, of course. I'm like, Artur knocked him out. Artur knocked him out.
He made
like, and my thing is, Artur don't get, and if he had flaws, I would go with Bivol all the way because Bivol do stay disciplined. But I just can't see Bivol holding up under that kind of beating for 12 rounds and actually being normal. If you listen to Volznik, he said, I felt like I was about to die after the fight.
So I'm going to give y'all my perspective, and then I'm going to let y'all do it, and then we'll get out of here. And go ahead and stick around with us, Lonnie.
Oh, wait, Sean, can I ask Lonnie one thing, though, about the fight?
Yeah. No. Go. Yeah. You want to ask him now? You want to ask him later?
I'll ask him real quick now.
Right.
Lonnie, I'm with you. I'm picking Beterbiev, and you took me to Beterbiev school many a time. We've had a lot of convos about it, and now I see the light.
Yeah.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying?
One reason I didn't see the light, I went to that fight in Chicago where Callum Johnson dropped him, right? And that moment is stuck with me. I'm like, okay, he's a come forward fighter for the most part. Now I know I see all the other wrinkles in his game, but bread and butter, he's going to get you.
Right.
You got to have a chin to fight in that style at the highest level. So, and even Roy Jones mentioned that, hey, he's been down once or twice. We haven't seen Bivol down. Why does that not work in Bivol's favor?
I'm going to tell you why, because Bivol hasn't fought the caliber opponents that Artur's fighting.
Artur's in the Callum Johnson, though, who did drop him. Just for argument's sake.
Yeah, technically, but he don't punch harder than Callum Johnson. Like Bivol is just a more popular fighter, but Callum Johnson is a puncher. He's a big boy. So stylistically wise, Arthur's been in tougher fights than Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and my thing is this, right? It's like saying when Roy Jones got dropped by Lou Duval. The best of us get knocked down, so that takes away. You understand what I'm saying? It's boxing. When you're in a tough fight, as many tough fights as Artur, you gonna get dropped here and there. But the thing is, I put my money on Artur because one thing I do know what he's gonna do when he faces adversity. He got up and wiped Callum Johnson off the face of the earth. You saw when he knocked him out, it's like somebody took a knife and cut his knees out.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? And if we don't go on that, then Bivol was hurt by Joe Smith. Joe Smith had him on wobbly legs 2 times in that fight. And he was uncomfortable with the pressure, and he was exhausted. And Joe Smith pressure is forward, and he's big and he's strong, but nowhere near as big and strong as Artur. You saw Artur just knocked him out in 2 rounds. Arthur's knocking out guys that's never been knocked out.
Man. Y'all make this hard for me. And
no, so tell us why Bivol's gonna win. Stick with you. I want to hear this.
The way I look at it, at that division, and I think, for the little guys, it's like Hot Wheels collisions. The bigger you get, the bigger the car gets. Welterweight division is like Ferraris collisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like heavyweight is like Mack trucks. And this is my thing. Beterbiev, while he's been as consistently knocking these guys out as he has been, he's been that truck that's been having these collisions along the way. I feel like even though he's 39, the thing that I know about combat sports, anything that physical sports, football specifically, once you get past boxing and the MMA, those collisions that you have, they age you. So on paper, Beterbiev is 39, but I think realistically, he's well into his 40s. This game,
that's a good point.
This game is going to age you in training, and if you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to age you in the fight. And then if you're not taking care of yourself after the fight, your recovery, if you're not recovering yourself correctly, it stays with you. You know what I mean? People, the thing that a lot of people don't know, but you go and you getting these massages, but what you don't understand is there's lactic acid buildup,
right?
And you got to get it rubbed out. Now, if you getting these things, getting it rubbed out after training, and you getting it rubbed out after fights, but it's still having its impact. It's still having it's settling into, and it's aging you. So I think Beterbiev has done this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bivol knows how to control the range, and I think he knows how to control the clock. And I think that the longer this fight goes, the more that meter starts to play into the favor of a Bivol who's fresher because he hasn't been in the ring with the guys that Beterbiev has been in the ring with.
Good point.
I think his body is fresher. Not only is he younger on paper, I think he's fresher. You know what I mean? So I think that Beterbiev is coming to the ring with a dented front end.
With the front end.
Yeah.
And those are all good points. I'm a piggyback off what you said, Sean. Like how you said, age and all that. One boxing, they say you only as good as your last fight.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at before he fought Callum Smith, they was like, oh, Beterbiev is older. I see the flaws.
That was me. Hey,
So,
yo,
you know-
I was like,
and he decapitates him. Now Callum Smith can really fight at cruiserweight. That's how big he is.
yeah,
And if you see how Arthur boxed him and turned it up each round at 39 years old, I think we're looking at one of those special guys like a Bernard Hopkins. Remember, Bernard Hopkins ain't beat Trinidad till he was 38. He ain't become a superstar until he was 38 years old.
yeah.
36. I got Bernard's poster right there. So don't mind me, Lonnie B. It was
36, but still, and still in boxing, and boxing,
the fact that he pointed to his poster and said, "I know everything there is to know about."
It's man's posters right there, so I know.
But in boxing, they say you only as good as your last fight. So the things that we were speculating on, because this only can be speculation. He hasn't shown, to me, in my personal opinion, his age hasn't came into a factor. Like we just
He only
saying,
had
well,
20 fights. It's not
it's not. That's what I'm saying, and it's like if you think about it, he really don't take no punishment. He don't knock everybody out. He makes everybody quit. And that's why when people say he just power, I'm like, I can't say he just power because it's not like he's hitting guys and knocking them out cold.
Yeah,
He's beating guys up round after round after. Look at Marcus Brown, who's a very, very good fighter. And I thought that was a 50-50 fight. He beat Marcus. You saw Marcus Brown went down. He just looked like, yo, I'm done with this shit. This ain't worth it.
yeah, straight up.
And Marcus Brown ain't no punk. Marcus Brown come to fight and he got skills and he was an Olympian.
Yeah,
And if you look at the way Arthur's dominating these guys, he's not just power, he has skills too. I think, and I get what you're saying, Sean, about the age, but I think once Bivol start getting hit, I think the body language is going to change, and I think he's going to punch the confidence that he got in him out of him. Like, once he realized that, he got skills, like he ain't just power, he ain't there to be hit. I thought I'd be able to land combinations, and I can't, but he can hit me, and I'm feeling this. I think, Bivol really, like you said, Sean, he's fresher, but he's really, I feel like he's too small. Bivol can fight at super middleweight.
yeah.
He used to talk about that a few years ago. He entertained fighting Canelo at 68 in the rematch.
At 68.
Right.
So he's really a small guy. And I can't see him, like I said, in boxing, anything is possible. But I just can't see him knocking out Arthur with all the big punchers Arthur's been in with, and they ain't even been able to budge him. Granted, he got dropped, but you see when he come back stronger. Like I think we're looking at a freak of nature. I think we're looking at something special here. Here's my thing.
Fight. That's what I said. Yeah.
Name me one fighter in the last 20 years that had 100% knockout ratio, knocking out world champions. I ain't talking about knocking out bums. I ain't call no fighter a bum, but knocking out lower level guys. Name me one fighter in the last 20 years that had 100% knockout ratio, knocking out guys that's never been knocked out.
Well, Lonnie B, my man, brought the fire. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you for having me, Kate. Wow. You too, Sean. I appreciate you guys, man. Likewise.
Hey, just go ahead and stay on. We're gonna end with some motivational message. Inspired by Mr. Lonnie B. This is what just came to me. Lonnie is one of those guys that's been around this game for a long time. And as you can hear his credentials, he's been in the ring with everybody. One of those guys that just didn't get that opportunity and never really got to shine in the moments that I'm sure he aspired to shine in. And I want to use that as motivation now because as you can see, he's at the boxing gym and he's giving his gift. He's
Yeah.
extending what he wasn't able to do for himself. He's extending it to other fighters so
Yeah.
that they can do it. And I want that to be motivation today that you know, when your time has passed or when your moment doesn't come or where you don't get that opportunity that you always thought you could have or would have, as you can see, the young man is smiling. As you can see, the young man is still happy and proud and with himself and in life. And that's what I want to encourage everybody to do. When that moment doesn't come, when that opportunity doesn't come, you still have life to live and you still have a reason to
Absolutely.
who you are to others. And just want everybody out there, man, smile no matter what's going on and keep extending goodness no matter what.
And I just want to say, what you just said, Sean. Like I said, I'm always smiling. I owe it all to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, he said, Christ who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. He said his plans for me is good and full of hope.
Yes.
So no matter what the world say or what people say, at the end of the day, Lonnie B will be one of the greatest fighters to ever touch a pair of gloves when it's all said and done.
Dig it. And this is the PorterWay.
Yes, sir.